Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Money G. It's time to review the latest vampire film airing on Netflix, starring Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg. It is Day Shift. Now, Day Shift is a 2022 American vampire action comedy horror film that was directed by J.J. Perry. It was written by Tyler Tice and Shay Hatton. Now, the film stars Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Snoop Dogg, Megan Good, and Carla Souza. Now, in this film, a hardworking blue collar dad who just wants to provide a good life for his quick witted 8-year-old daughter uses his pool cleaning job as a front for his real source of income hunting and killing vampires. You go, boy. Now, there have been several vampire films that come out this year, airing on the streaming service Netflix, and not just this year, but previous years. Yeah, I think in 2020 we had Vampires versus the Bronx. This year we had Mike Flanagan's Netflix series Midnight Mass. We had the teen horror drama series First Kill and vampire films 19th and Red Blood Sky. Seems like Netflix is trying to at least bring some vampire films on their streaming services. No, and as a fan of vampires, it's nice to see this resurgence of one of the most popular supernatural creatures in horror, and it looks like Netflix will continue releasing vampire films and series. Now, that brings us to the latest vampire film that's airing on Netflix from action director and martial artist J.J. Perry in his directorial debut called Day Shift. Now, the film introduces us to Bud Jablonski, who uses his pool cleaning job as a front for what he really does for a living, hunting and killing vampires. Now, strapped for cash as his ex-wife will be moving to Florida along with their 8-year-old daughter Heather, Blood Bud decides to go back to the Union, an organization that hunts and kills vampires across the country, sort of like bounty hunters. Settled with a Union accountant named Seth, who's supposed to report back when Bud breaks Union duels, using Union rules. They go around the city hunting and destroying vampires. However, unknown to Bud, an elder vampire named Audrey is out looking for Bud and is going to take revenge against Bud for what he did to one of her fellow vampires. And that's basically what this film is about. You know, when you're looking at this film, it's screaming 90s action film with its vibrant, bright, vibrant color schemes. It's filmed in LA, and songs that are used throughout the film brings back a whole bunch of 90s stuff. You know, I think you start off with, oh yeah, the song, obviously California Love. That's when the movies first starts with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and some other decent songs that are played throughout this film. You know, it just brings back the action films from the 90s. Now, as a martial artist, J.J. Perry does a good job in filming the action scenes, especially in the beginning of the film. He takes advantages of the vampire's abilities to bend and twist, and we get some unusual, great fighting scenes with Jamie and the vampires he and Seth come up against. I think they were filmed very well. They're edited very well. They're very well choreographed too. You got to give him credit because this man knows how to film action scenes. Being that not only he's a martial artist, he's also was a stuntman too. Case in point, there is an awesome scene in the second act of the film where JJ uses every part of the house that's filled with vampires, and the audience get to see every slice and dice. I did want to see some more blood, but you know what I'm talking about. You get some good beheadings, some good action scenes. The vampires do a good job in using their abilities, and he takes full advantage of using every inch and every ounce of the house. I really like that scene. It was filmed very well. You got to give him credit for his first time as director. He does a very good job in filming the action in that house. I mean, the acting is pretty solid. It's what you expect from Jamie Foxx. He does a good job as Bud, a man who simply wants to be a good father to his daughter and provide for his family. He comes off as a bit hard-headed, but that's his personality, and I like what Jimmy Fox does with Bud. Now, while he and Snoop Dogg have some good chemistry in the scenes together, it can't be the same between him and Dave Franco. As much as they try, they seem hampered by Tyler and Shay's script, which doesn't allow them to be the buddy cop duo that I believe the filmmakers were going for. Whether it's Lethal Weapon or another 48 Hours or 48 Hours, a typical buddy cop film that we've seen before in the 80s and the 90s. I guess as they were trying to do here, but somehow it doesn't seem to work. It's no fault of Dave Franco's acting ability. I think he does a good job. What he tries what he can to do with Seth's character, but the script doesn't seem to get them to bond or have that chemistry between each other. I mean, Seth does have his moments, but none of the joke he says or some of the things he does in the film aren't funny. And even when an event happens to Seth during the third act of the film, we don't get the sympathy I believe the filmmakers are going for as well. Now, while Carla Sosa is okay as the main villain, Audrey, and she's an attractive woman and she's pretty nice to look at, but her motivations are not explored enough to make her the true threat that she's supposed to be. Yeah, she comes off as a kind of a little lame, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, she can be a threat, but it's not the type of threat that she's supposed to be. If you're going to have a villain such as that, you want to make the motivations make her seem that she's really going to be out there. Nothing that in this film does that for her. However, despite these flaws, it's still good enough to be an enjoyable vampire film as we do get to see some nice practical effects. We get the good acting from Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, and I would love to see more of Big John's character. I would prefer if Snoop Dogg can actually make a film about him and him alone. I believe that would be a good one to see. So I'm going to give Day Shift a 2.5 out of my five bloody gold coins. Give it 2.5 out of my five bloody gold coins. It's okay, just not real good. It had potential there. Like I said, we had the great chemistry between Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, but not the great chemistry between him and Dave Franco. The jokes are not funny. Kind of a lame villain whose motivation is purely lacking, and that's about it. No, but I give J.J. Perry credit. He did film the action scenes very well, so I got to give him props for that. And so there you have it, guys. That's my video for today. Hope you did enjoy it. And please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it helps out with that YouTube algorithm they always like to do on these videos. Also, if you have seen Day Shift, which of course is airing on Netflix, let me know what you thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button. Ring that notification bell. That way, be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. I'm out.